Well, this is a crappy topic, and not in the literal sense that I usually talk about poop so much, but today, talking about cancer. Hey, I'm Dr. Patty Barch. I'm a traditional naturopath, founder and owner of Naturally Unbridled Wellness and naturallyunbridled.com, where we focus on wellness solutions, not disease management. This is Down the Ridge with Dr. Patty. This is not medical advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. Nothing I say is true. Don't listen to me. If you're new to watching these videos, you may not know my backstory, which is I started my career in the biotechnology industry. I did cancer research and drug development for 8 years. When I started working for the biotech company, we were looking for a cure for cancer. By the time I left 8 years later, we had stopped looking for a cure. We were looking for a drug that would keep your cancer from growing and spreading, but you'd have to stay on that drug for the rest of your life. And, fast forward now, 30 years, and I have been for the past 13 years full-time helping people to naturally achieve their wellness goals. And what's been interesting and disconcerting in recent years is the vast amount of cancer cases, like the increase in cancer cases. It used to be back when I was early in practice, like the first half at least of my practice, I might get a cancer client once a year, maybe twice a year. And now there are some days I see 2 cancer clients, and most weeks I see at least 1 cancer client. And we are seeing cancer, and my colleagues the same, because I have an inner circle of like-minded colleagues that we're like a support group. And I remember talking to one of my friends a couple years ago in the midst of the insanity. And his words were, "When did I become an effing oncologist?" And I'm like, dude, you are not kidding. Like, what the heck with the cancer cases? So I just thought in this short video this morning, I would talk a little about what cancer is and what might be spurring this increase in cancers that we're seeing. Before I forget, on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/naturallyunbridled. There's a few, if you search my name, there's actually some random YouTube channels. So you want to go to youtube.com/naturallyunbridled, and you can look for my Natural Solutions for Breast Health webinar. It's a free 1-hour webinar, and I get into a lot more detail about cancer and what's going on in the world about it. If you can't find it, drop a message in the comments and I'll post a link, okay? All right, so first of all, what is cancer? Well, it's an interesting form of suicide where your body kills itself. So you're not dying from an injury, you're not dying from an infection, your cells are killing you. Cancer cells have a broken off switch. So cells are supposed to divide and rest, divide and rest, divide and rest, and die. And there's a problem with cancer cells where they don't rest and they may not die for a while. Eventually they will. Cancers above like 2 millimeters need to create their own blood supply. When they're small micro cancers, they can just absorb the nutrients and the energy they need to be dividing and dividing and dividing from surrounding tissue, intercellular spaces. But once they get to be like above 2 millimeters, they start attracting their own blood vessels by secreting something called vascular endothelial growth factor. And when I was in biotech in the latter years and we had started looking for a drug that would just keep your cancer from growing and spreading, we were looking at blocking the ability for the vascular endothelial growth factor, sorry, my phone is falling here, to big bumps. We're blocking the VEGF, right? Sorry, I don't know. I should have put that higher, sorry. And so if you block the ability for the tumor to, sorry, I gotta fix this, it's crazy. I apologize. I'll fix it when I park. If you're blocking the ability for the tumor to create its own blood supply, its ability to grow is diminished. And so every day for the rest of your life, you take your VEGF blocking drug. But the problem is VEGF has other roles in the body, and to block it entirely is not a good idea. So all cancer, fundamentally, the dysfunction of a couple different systems. So one is the cellular division, mitochondrial energy, right? Like the cells are broken. The metabolism of the cell is broken. It's working way too hard and consuming way too much energy. And you'll always hear me say that sugar is cancer fertilizer, meaning that it's because the cancer cells are dividing so quickly, and because they need a lot of energy to be able to divide and divide and divide. Glucose is the nutrient that they use the most of. This is terrible. I really apologize. So they use a lot of sugar. So a lot of people will use a ketogenic diet as part of their cancer fighting lifestyle. I am fixing this stupid thing, sorry. They'll use a ketogenic diet. Oh my God, don't do this. All right, I'll just hold it. So yeah, people can use a ketogenic diet. That's one way to fight it. But the other system, so I already said cancer is a failure of mitochondrial energy, and it's also a failure of the immune system, because a healthy immune system recognizes that the cell, it has gone AWOL, and it wants to destroy that cell. And if your immune system is not recognizing this cell as problematic and destroying it, then your immune system needs help. So obviously, with the insanity of our current society, we are seeing a lot more cancer. For one, there may be a viral component to some cancers. So think about what a virus is. A virus is genetic code wrapped in a protein like shell. And the genetic code can get into your own cells. This is how a virus functions. And it takes its genetic code and inserts it into your genetic code and changes what your cell does. And of course, when you're taking genetic code and putting it in your genetic code, you could be interfering with your cell's shut off switch. So there may be in some cancers a viral component, and then maybe there's a certain virus that is contributing to all of the upswing in cancers that we're seeing. Of course, we know this is well proven that the interventions that a bunch of people, like 70% of society, partook a few years back, there is a connection of those with increased cancer rates. We know this. I've had clients who have passed away from that. They got one of the things in their muscle that spread into the breast, and then it spread throughout the body. And sadly, they are no longer with us. And there's other well-documented cases of this as well. But what a lot of people don't realize is you have to also recall the monoclonal antibodies that were distributed during that time. These were also emergency use products. So that means they did not undergo the normal scrutiny that these types of products have to go through. They also did not have to go through good manufacturing practices, and you also did not get a complete package insert available to you. You only got a fact sheet, and I'll put fact in quotes. So, you know, then add into our mix, like how toxic our environment is, how stressed out people are, how people aren't sleeping, how crappy the food is, right? And this is a perfect storm, a recipe for cancer. So what can you do about it? I guess that will have to be another video because it's getting kind of long. But in general, you'll hear me talk. You know what? I'm going to post the link to the webinar that I did that's on YouTube, because I get into a lot more detail about the things that you can do to just understand cancer more, and the types of things that can be helpful, and how we help with people. Okay, so peace out, peeps. Have a healthy day. Sorry about this weird camera thing. Hopefully I can fix this and my bracket isn't crapping out. Bye.